What is going on, Pastor Adam?
Well, today is a special episode because we're going to pause this week because we want people to focus on family and Thanksgiving. Yeah. And I know tons of people love the show. And but we've been grinding out multiple episodes a week. Yeah. And even though we film these ahead of time, it just lets us, even for Thanksgiving, have a breath ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because we're always, you know, if we don't, we're going to be off for Thanksgiving with our family. And so that lets us save our recent episode we just did and to play it the week after. Right. So that we could focus on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but I want to just say thank you to everyone and all our viewers, all our watchers, all our listeners.
Yes.
Without you, obviously, this ain't possible. So we're just so grateful and thankful for each and every single one of you that tune in every single week or the ones that catch up every single week. It's so fun that I get to do this, obviously, with my husband. Thankful for Alize, Gabe, our whole I Do community.
Yes.
You got anyone else you want to thank, Bill?
I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I should probably do that our next episode, because our next episode, we will have our 100K YouTube play button.
Love it.
And so Beyond the Letter and Beyond I Do, we will celebrate with our community for helping us on YouTube. We're also listened to on Spotify and Apple and everything else. But our YouTube has reached a milestone. Your milestones on YouTube are 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, and 100 million. So the likelihood that we'll probably only have one other milestone, which would be 1 million. 10 million would be great, but you know, maybe we'll reach 1 million someday soon. But reaching 100,000 people,
it's great.
Has been great. So our next episode will celebrate that, and well, probably not our next episode, but whenever we come, whenever we celebrate the play button is when we'll celebrate it, because we just did one with Aaron and Erica, so that probably plays first and stuff like that. But either way, we'll celebrate together and be thankful together for that accomplishment. And we'll continue, even during the holidays, we'll continue to have episodes and appreciate everybody who connects with these and enjoy these.
Yeah. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
What favorite food? What food are you looking for for Thanksgiving?
That's a good one before we go off. Okay, my favorite food that I think I'm looking forward to this Thanksgiving. You know, I'm not a Thanksgiving person, so I know I'm going to make a lot of people mad. But if I was going to be excited for something for Thanksgiving, you know, it's not even a Thanksgiving food. I'm excited for some deviled eggs.
Yeah.
I love a good deviled egg on Thanksgiving. I don't know why we only have it.
And by the way, I just saw your Slack. You said no episode, but this actually is kind of an episode now. So
right.
It's Alize.
Small announcement.
Yeah. Just not clips. There's not going to be any clips. Like I saw Alize's message, right? Hey team, no episodes. Like, well, it's an episode now. Speaking of marriage, though, we're 9 years into marriage.
Yeah.
And we've decided to create a new thing for our family, which this Thanksgiving, normally we go to your mom's, normally then we go to my mom's. And then this year, though, we told them, hey, we're not going to your guys' houses. We're opening our home. You guys want to come. If not, whatever. But 4:00, we're hanging out at our house. It's the first time ever for me and you in at least well over a decade that we're not going to be traveling on a holiday, which is nice because you and I are in ministry. We've always been in ministry together, but like the podcast, everything, I was telling you earlier this couple months ago, I said, because we work so hard, Christmas and Thanksgiving become travel days for us. And it's exhausting for me because it's supposed to be a time for me, for rest with my family when I work so much that it becomes one of the most tiring days in the world because we're driving 30 minutes to Corona, Eastvale, then 30 minutes back to my parents. Then you got kids, you're wrestling up dogs, blah, blah, blah.
Presents, food.
Yeah, presents, Christmas. So we just said, hey, let's try it this Thanksgiving. Let's have everybody at our home. To me, the energy it displays to cook and have food for everything doesn't amount to travel and eating food at two places and just consistently be in a transition. So speaking of marriage, you were great because you were like, I hear you, let's do it. You weren't like, no, I don't want to do that. Our family has traditions or whatever. Your family was great because they said, great, sounds good.
Yeah.
They have to travel to us now. They could have said, well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
My mom could have said, well, I've done this since you boys were kids.
Yeah.
But all of our families were really understanding.
Yeah.
So,
and this would be the first time we've ever, since we've been married, both families come together and celebrate
at the same time.
Yeah. A holiday. It should be tons of fun. Football games will be on in the background.
For sure. I'm
Kids
a tech
will be
guy,
running
so
around.
I have TV screens everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm not a sports person, but anyone who ever want to watch sports thing, you go to my house, there's 12 TVs throughout the entire house. You know, Alizé comes over there everywhere. They're in the backyard.
You can watch on the Google Home.
They're in the kitchen. They're in the, we got TVs everywhere.
Where he spends most of his time. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, but I'm super excited. And I think our family, I think it's really something special. And I think it's a unique dynamic because we're very fortunate and very blessed that both our families are willing to have dinner together and break bread together because it's not common. So truly blessed.
And so, just in theme of that, don't be afraid. Me and Ashlee been together over a decade. Don't be afraid to be like, well, this is the way we do it. This is the way we've always done it. If it's not working for your family and you, don't be afraid to propose new traditions to your families, the in-laws and all that stuff like that. And don't be afraid, if necessary, that you might step on some toes with new traditions, but just be like, hey, let's try it this year. And that's what we've done. We didn't say, hey, this is an annual thing. We said, we're going to try it. Yeah. And if it works well for us emotionally, rest-wise, if everybody seems to enjoy it, then we would like to do it again. So everybody was like, yeah, cool, let's do it. So I was kind of prepared that oh man, my mom might, get really upset. And I know she was kind of bummed about it, but they're such team players that overall she's excited about it and fine with it. As long as her family's together, my mom's happy,
Yeah, and we don't push it. We're not like, hey, we need you there from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We're like, no.
Dinner's at 4.
Dinner's at 4 whenever you want. Doors open.
Yeah, come whenever you want throughout the day, but this. So that's it. It was supposed to be a quick announcement, but good enough that we talked about it because that's marriage, and we're making things work for our families and at the pace of life we're at, and our families are being supportive of it. Yeah. And don't be afraid to communicate or try to create new traditions. And for us, this would be a new tradition. And the week leading up to it, we're taking our boys camping. So I'm taking off work so that I could be available to them. And Matthias is in school, first grade now, so he only gets spring break and Thanksgiving off and Christmas. And so that's normally the busiest time for me. So I was like, I'm gonna take the week off. And so as people see this episode, not only did we go camping this whole week, up at Big Sur, but then we came back home and hosted people for Thanksgiving. And I'm trying to make an effort as a guy. People know this. I hear from people all the time. They're like, how do you preach a sermon every weekend? How do you have a staff? How do you produce 2 podcasts a week? And coming up, going to produce a 3rd podcast every week. Well, number one, you got to have margin, but you also have to have really good alignment with your wife. And you also, like me, I have to take this week off to spend time with you guys. Yeah. Which leads us to say why we said we're going to do a 10-minute episode.
Absolutely.
All right. We got anything else on it?
Nope.
All right, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Bye.